Hello, my name is Marco, and forgive my sound quality right now, but I just wanted to give a quick word of encouragement to other fellow independent writers, and especially to my friend at Twitter, Ava Beans. And I've seen other comments of other writers, other creators expressing, discouragement, and the creative process of writing is very exhilarating, is a lot of fun, but the hardest part, I think, because it's a great accomplishment to finish a project. Not everyone can do that, and so I know I'm talking to a small select audience who have experienced that thrill of finishing a project, maybe a couple of projects. But the hardest part is right after that, and that is that severe anguish and depression of trying to share what you've created. And sometimes it feels like we're invisible. We're trying to make it on social media, and it's hard. It's real hard. And sometimes our expectations are, just to finish the book. But we're in a different time. We are in a very unique time in history. And as Dickens would say, this is the best of times and it's the worst of times, because there are more readers than there has ever been. At the same time, there's more literature than there has ever been. There's more distractions. There's less time than there has ever been to read. And hopefully, I imagine once self-driving cars come back around, reading will be more accessible to the common person. That'd be nice. But until then, we still have to keep our eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. And even then, that can be a bit challenging. With that said, what is a good expectation for us? Famous writers only get 1% of the reading population. So if you got 1% of the reading population, that would be like let's pretend if you're a military contractor and you had a survival guide that you wanted to sell to Uncle Sam. If you got that contract and all of the military had to get your guide, you've made it. You're a big time bestseller, and that's 1%. So if and the rest of us, we don't even have 1%. The only people that know about our work is our goldfish who died recently, and so that's really it's easy to get discouraged. But the highest we'll probably ever see is probably 1% actually likes our writing. So the good news is we don't have to go before a board, a panel, to get our work out. There's no one in our way to publishing what we want to publish. However, we have to go directly to the audience. And that's, someone that's, busking on the corner of the road. People can hear their music and they're like, oh, wow, that's really nice. As writers, we have a bit of a harder challenge. It's harder to stand at the corner of the road and say, hey, do you want to read my 400-page manuscript? No one has time for that, so we have to do things a little more creatively. Social media is one way to have our sales pitch, if you will. But a healthy expectation is important. As writers, that's our baby, but we need to be prepared for rejection. Expect 100 people to reject you and one person say, oh, I'll give that a listen. or I'll give that a read. I'll check it out. You know, that's a healthy expectation. We need, as creators, we have big hearts, but we need bulletproof skin if we are going to survive this. This is that is a healthy expectation. It is not an easy expectation, but I think in the long run it is worth it if you keep track of your audience and don't be distracted by the negativity. If you continue to push this boulder up that hill, once you're on top of the mountain, the audience will do the rest of the work for you. The hardest part will be gathering the audience, and like I said, gather them like it's gold, and because there's going to be an ocean of silt and negativity that you're going to have to weed through. But once you've got that audience, they're gonna do the rest of the work for you. So branch out, explore different methods, use all of the tools you have. You have lots of tools. You have music. Don't focus on the writing alone. Writing is just one aspect of storytelling. You have all sorts of things that are right in front of you in the scenes. I'm talking to Ava Beans. I love the music you've had on your blog. That was really neat. So continue to do that. Continue to work with illustrations. Writing is a one aspect of storytelling, and pulling in the audience. And we don't need the big Hollywood producers. We can do a lot of stuff now because the technology has made it so that the common people can express themselves in so many different ways that was not even available way back when. We can use cameras that are good quality. We can make illustrations. The digital artwork is so much easier to use than working with traditional mediums like paint, where you don't get the oops button on a canvas. Whereas you do. There's so many different variations of illustrating method you can do digitally, and that can be part of the story making process that can amplify it and bring in an audience to catch other people's attention. And reading, I think, will make a huge comeback once we have driving cars. And that's going to be a really interesting time because people will have more time to read. Because right now, it's everyone's moving around. There's not much time. Yes, we have more technology, but there's a lot more distractions. But until then, keep your eyes on the road. Be safe and keep pressing on. Don't be discouraged, and just know that it is easier to build an audience nowadays than it is way back when. The chances of you actually seeing your success is a lot better than it was. There's a lot of writers in the past that they're famous now, but they never got to see it. They never got to they talked to the audience. They did all they could do. They passed on, and they never got to see the fruit of their work. And now we can we can reach out, and it can be daunting, but it's possible, and just keep pressing on and focus on that, the 1%. Focus on the good, positive things. Treasure it like gold, and we'll make it through.